Have you ever wondered how a creature born from stone, a simple monkey, could rise high enough to shake the heavens themselves? This is not just a tale of mischief and rebellion, it is the journey of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, from wild trickster to disciplined protector. Stay with me, and you will walk alongside him through mountains and temples, through battles with gods and demons, and into the heart of a story that has shaped Asia for centuries. Long ago, at the peak of the mountain of flowers and fruit, stood a stone unlike any other, shaped by the winds, nourished by the heavens. This stone absorbed the essence of sun and moon, and from within it, one day, a monkey leapt forth bright-eyed, quick of mind, and filled with a spirit unbound. He was no ordinary monkey. From the moment of his birth, the world seemed too small for his ambition. He would swim rivers, climb peaks, and lead other monkeys with laughter and courage. But even kings among monkeys grow restless, and so he left his mountain, seeking a way to conquer death itself. He traveled across seas and forests, until he found a Taoist master. From him, he learned the secrets of the way. He mastered the 72 transformations arts that allowed him to shift his shape into birds, beasts, or even invisible mist. He learned the cloud somersault, by which a single leap could carry him over 100,000 miles, and in the depths of the Dragon King's palace, he claimed a weapon, a staff of black iron, the Ruyi Jinggu, being a pillar that could grow or shrink at will, yet obeyed him like a loyal companion. Armed with this, he was no longer just a clever monkey, he was a force that even gods would soon fear. The heavens took notice. Officials of the Jade Emperor sought to tame him, to offer him small titles, trifles meant to keep his pride satisfied. But Sun Wukong was not so easily pacified. When he discovered he had been given a role, little more than stable boy for celestial horses, his fury ignited. He returned to earth, declaring himself great sage, equal to heaven. With his staff in hand, he fought the armies of heaven, immortals, generals, celestial hosts all fell back before his might. Even the great deities could not contain him. He drank the wine of the gods, stole the peaches of immortality, swallowed the pills of eternal life. What could heaven do with such a creature? At last, the Buddha himself intervened. He challenged Sun Wukong, offering him freedom, if he could leap beyond the Buddha's palm. The monkey laughed. With his somersault, he soared across the worlds, or so he thought. At the edge of the cosmos, he marked his victory on 5 pillars, only to discover they were but the fingers of the Buddha's hand. In that instant, he was trapped. The Buddha pressed him beneath the weight of a mountain, the 5 elements. 5 centuries of stillness and silence. 500 years passed, and then came a monk Tang Sanzang, sent by the Tang Emperor to fetch the Buddhist scriptures from the West India. The monk's mission was holy, but his path was perilous. Demons and spirits sought his flesh, believing it would grant them immortality. The Bodhisattva Guanyin knew he would need protectors, and so she released Sun Wukong, but with a chain upon his spirit, a circlet of gold, placed on his head. When the monk recited a spell, the band would tighten, piercing his skull with unbearable pain. Freedom, yes, but only under discipline. Thus, the Monkey King became the monk's disciple, and with him traveled 2 others: Jubaji, the pig, greedy yet loyal in his own way, and Sha Wujing, the river ogre, quiet and steadfast. Together, the 4 set out across deserts, mountains, and endless dangers, to bring back the scriptures. The journey stretched across 81 trials. Demons disguised themselves as maidens, emperors, even kindly villagers. Each sought to capture Tang Sanzang. Again and again, Sun Wukong fought them back. His staff split mountains, his transformations outwitted enemies, but it was not always simple. His violence often clashed with the monk's compassion. Tang Sanzang saw in him a dangerous beast, quick to strike, slow to forgive, and so the golden circlet tightened many times, reminding the monkey that brute force alone could not win the way. Yet, through these clashes, something changed within him. The once proud rebel, who bowed to no one, learned to walk beside his master, not ahead of him. It was not surrender, but transformation. One of the fiercest tests came when they crossed paths with the bull demon king. This mighty figure, once sworn brother to Sun Wukong, turned against him when greed and ambition clouded his heart. Their battle shook the heavens and scorched the earth. Blades clashed, transformations flew, and even mountains trembled. Under their blows, the struggle drew in the bull demon's wife, Princess Iron Fan, wielder of a magical fan that could summon mighty winds. It drew in their son, Red Boy, a fiery youth whose flames even Sun Wukong struggled to withstand. In the end, Red Boy himself was subdued only through the mercy of Guan Yin, who transformed him from a foe into a disciple. These encounters reminded Sun Wukong that battles were not always won by strength alone, but by alliances, wisdom, and at times divine compassion. Another trial waited in the form of the White Bone Demon. She was cunning, more dangerous than brute force. 3 times she disguised herself as innocent villagers, first as a gentle maiden, then as a mother, and finally as an old woman. Each time she sought to lure Tang Sanzing into her grasp. Sun Wukong struck her down, but the monk saw only violence against innocence. He rebuked his disciple, and the golden circlet seared the monkey's head. For once, Sun Wukong was not rewarded for his loyalty, but punished for the truth. This wound cut deeper than any blade, teaching him that perception and reality often diverge, and that trust between master and disciple was fragile. Other monsters crossed their path as well. The Yellow Wind Demon, who raised storms strong enough to blind the travelers. The Spider Spirits, 7 sisters whose beauty concealed deadly traps. Each demanded not only strength, but cleverness, and the will to endure. Through each battle, Sun Wukong's fire of defiance was tempered into a steadier flame. Ask yourself, how does a creature born wild, with power to shake heaven itself, accept the sting of discipline? And yet, that is the very heart of this tale. The Monkey King is more than just a character. He is the embodiment of the restless human spirit, our hunger for freedom, our defiance of limits. The 5 Elements Mountain is the weight of our own flaws and desires. The golden circlet is conscience, the voice that restrains us, when rage and pride would lead us astray. Tang Sanzing is wisdom, Zhu Baji is appetite, Sha Wujing is endurance. Together, they are not just a party of travelers, but a map of the human heart. Across centuries, this tale has leapt beyond China. In Japan, echoes of the Monkey King ripple through stories like Dragon Ball, where Goku himself is named after him. On the Chinese stage, his figure danced brightly in Beijing opera, painted with vivid masks and bold gestures. His tricks and transformations became favorites in storytelling, shadow plays, and folk songs. In the West, one hears his shadow in Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods, or in Loki, the trickster of Norse myth. Every culture has its rebel, its spirit that refuses chains, yet must learn the balance between freedom and order. So I ask, is true strength found in the power to break chains, or in the wisdom to carry them with grace? At last, after countless dangers, the travelers reached India. They received the scriptures, and with them, enlightenment. Sun Wukong's journey was complete. No longer the arrogant rebel who claimed to be equal to heaven, he was honored as a true Buddha in his own right, the victorious fighting Buddha, a title not of rebellion, but of transformation. And so the stone-born monkey, who once leapt from a mountain with laughter, became more than king of monkeys. He became a symbol that even the wildest heart can find harmony. But the story lingers, for each of us carries a bit of Sun Wukong, the untamed spark, the defiant shout against the sky. The question is not whether we silence it, the question is where, in your own journey, does your Monkey King walk today?